Hey guys, so now that we've learned our minor pentatonic scales, we know all 5 patterns cold, we're going to talk about how to practice them effectively. So what we want to do is, we have to remember that the 5 pentatonic patterns are the same 5 notes up and down the neck, just in every position on the neck. So the goal of the patterns, of memorizing patterns, is to be able to move across the string in whatever key we're in without having to stop. So for instance, if I'm playing a lick here, right, I could just move through all 5 patterns up and down the neck without stopping, and I'm always in key. So the way we get to that point is by practicing them like a puzzle piece, because they all fit one into the other. So we just go through them, starting in the first position, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or actually what we call pattern 1 again, and then we come back down. Every time we practice it, we're putting the pieces of the puzzle together. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by practicing it with the metronome as what we call eighth notes. So eighth notes is when we have a beat, we have 4 beats in a bar, right? And we play 2 notes for every beat. So with the metronome going here, I have the first note or first beat of every bar accented. You can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the way we would practice this would be as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go from there. We start off with pattern 1 on the low E string. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now if you notice, when I'm picking, the reason why this works so well is because on the downbeat, right, on the 1 and, right, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, my pick is a downstroke on the downbeat and an upstroke on the upbeat, or a downstroke on the number and an upstroke on the and. So it always works out really well for alternate picking and with this scale. So 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Then without stopping, we just move to the next pattern. Stopping. If you have to have the piece of music in front of you, like if you have to have the fretboard shapes written out in front of you, that's totally fine. It's not a problem referencing them. You just want to practice it this way because you want to learn it so that all the notes are together, all the notes fit together like a puzzle piece. And each scale goes one into the other. And back. Notice I'm always alternate picking. And just like in the other video, I always pick the top note twice. Okay, so once you get comfortable playing through each pattern as eighth notes and being able to play them up and down the neck in that way, we're going to move it to the next division of time, which rather than play 2 notes per beat, we're going to play 3 notes per beat, or triplets. So in this case, triplets are counted as like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. If you have a problem counting like that, you can use any 3-syllable word or phrase to make it work. You just count it in place. So the one that I like is triplet, 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 triplet. But it could easily be blueberry, 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 underwear, 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 quarantine, 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 whichever one you want. So same exact scale, same exact pattern. Nothing changes in what we do. We're picking everything the same amount of time. It just works out as triplets simply because we have 6 strings, 2 notes on each string. So we have 12 strings, 12 notes going up, 12 notes coming back. And it would be, if I could keep from dropping my pick, it would be like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Notice I'm not stopping. If I were to make a mistake, I would simply wait till the next downbeat and start the scale over again. I always maintain proper fingering, and I'm always alter picking. Down, up, down, up. Now that. You just want it to be smooth. Remember, my old teacher Stefan used to say, you want every note to sound beautiful. Look, see, I made a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not beating myself up over it. I'll just get it right this time. Okay? Mistakes only last as long as you allow them to on guitar. The more time you worry about or you beat yourself up over a mistake, then that's time wasted. You could just be playing it again. And I think that goes for anything you're trying to learn in life, okay? Mistakes happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes your mind wanders or your hand just does the wrong thing. All you can do is be calm, start the whole thing over again. Not the whole thing, but whatever scale pattern you're in, start it over again on the next downbeat. Wait for the next one. That's it. Do it again. If you make the same mistake repeatedly, all you do is concentrate on that one pattern over and over again. For some reason, pattern 4, in every one of these, every person I've ever taught, pattern 4 seems to be a difficult one. The major pentatonic pattern. For some reason, everybody, myself included, have a hard time with it. So what do? You put on the metronome, you put it either 8th notes or triplets, whatever you're comfortable with, and you just practice that one over and over again until you get it. If there's one part of it that's giving you a problem, like let's say in pattern 4, or pattern 5 rather, one of the problems that people constantly have is this position switch on the 5th pattern, where you shift 1-4 on the 9-12 on the G and then 9-12 on the B. Just practice that. A lot of times I'll just do this. I'll go between those 2 strings. Just to get used to that little shift. Or I'll add the note, the string before it and the string after it, so it becomes. Like that, okay? So whenever you have a tough spot, I call it smoothing out the rough edges, right? You just practice that part until it gets smoother and smoother. So now the last part of this sequence is we're going to play it as 16th notes. 16th notes is 4 notes per beat, and it would be counted as 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2, 3 E and 4 E. So let's find the 1 there. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and. Now, the thing about this is now we're going to repeat each pattern twice before we move up to the next pattern. So that way it'll stay in time. If we we don't do it twice, then it won't be in time. Meaning you won't be starting each pattern on a downbeat. So listen to it one time. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 2 E. You see what I'm saying? 2 times each. Then move back to the next one. And this is at 70 beats per minute. If it's too fast for you, you can do the same thing, whatever tempo you want. If it's too slow, speed it up. But ultimately, this exercise is not so much about speed. It's about being able to feel the division of the beats and being able to access them at will. Okay, so what we have there are 3 ways to practice the pentatonics, or 4 ways rather. We have quarter notes, 1 note per beat, which is if you're memorizing them, you're just getting them down. That's the best way to practice it, starting as 1 note per beat. Eighth notes, which is 2 notes per beat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the picking for that matches up. It's really good because it matches up as downstroke, upstroke, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next one would be as triplets. Triplet, 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 or 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. And the last one would be 16th notes, 4 notes per beat, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And for that one, we have to practice. We have to play each pattern twice in a row, and then move to the next one. So when you get the pentatonic scales down, this is how I want you to practice them. Starting at the lowest position, going to the same position but 1 octave higher, and then back down again every time. If you want to do it multiple times, like 8th notes and triplets, if you want to play those 3 or 4 times in a row before moving to the next one, that's fine as well. But for right now, this is your pattern. Up, down, up, down. Each pattern, 1 to 5, and then 1 again, and then back again. Okay? And that's it.